Hello. So recently they found that the encoders don't actually return anything. They've been returning 0 or not working at all. And here you can see, here's our motor tablet with our code. You can run it. And you see that there's a power and distance. It's quite small, but it's there. You can see that when you run it, the distance is still 0. Nothing happens. And you see it works fine, just it doesn't return anything. Now, in order to fix this, we need to fix the encoder, which is on top of the motor. So what we'll need to fix this is the motor itself, obviously. You will need a post-it note. As you can see, it sticks and unsticks. And you need a screwdriver. Now this is a drill bit, but I didn't want to drill it, so I just took it out and used it myself. So we need to remove the black cap on the end. That's where the encoder is. In order to do that, there's 2 screws that you can unscrew. They're on either side. They're quite small, so be careful, don't lose them. But you can just unscrew them and take them out. Make sure you put them somewhere that you know where they are so you don't lose track of them or they roll off the table or anything. And the black cap will come off, as you can see, and reveals the inside where the encoder is. So you see the black disc, where's the magnet, and there's the axle connecting to it, and then there's a bunch of sensors with labels on them. And the sensors that we care about are U1 and U2. Those are the ones that track the magnet on the encoder. And as you can see, the magnet is on top of the axle, far away from the sensors. That's why the encoder isn't working. So if we tear a post-it note into a little square, that fits just around the magnet in that area. So what we can do is we can tear it halfway through the middle, and then tear it on the sides as well to make a little wraparound on the axle, and it'll fit just under the magnet. The reason why we're doing this is so when we push the magnet down onto the sensors, it doesn't actually touch. You don't want to touch, you want to get very close. So as you can see, here's like a little T. It doesn't come out very well, but it is there. And this will let you wrap it around the axle with no issue. So in order to do that, you take the motor and the post-it note and you want to push it under. And you need to wiggle a little bit. It takes a little while to get in. But once you get it in, you want to pull the tabs around to make sure it's snugly under and rotate it should it not fit. There we go. And now it's snugly around, and you want to push down on that magnet to get it close to the sensors. And it takes a little bit of force because it's quite stuck. You don't want too much force, but you need a little bit of force. And now you can see it push down, and there's a little space between. And you can wiggle the post-it note free. It'll come out eventually, it just needs a little encouragement. And you can see it's not touching the bottom, but it is close to it, and it's off the top now. And that will fix your encoder. And you want to put the cap back on in the right way. It took me a while, but I got it. And then the screws on top. Of course, screw those back in. They're also hard to get in, so it may take you a little bit. Once you have the screws back on, you want to make sure the cap doesn't come off. And then you want to grab your tablet, your gamepad, and your motor. Plug them in to the control hub with the motor wire and the encoder wire. You can tug on them if you want, make sure they're tight so they'll fall off. A little tug there. Alright, holding the motor in one hand, you want to initialize again, press play, and then run the gamepad controller. It's on gamepad 2. And the code that I use for this will be in the description, which you can use for yourself. It's quite simple, and it will give you the power and distance. As you can see, the motor's moving fine. And if you look at the tablet, you'll see when the power goes on, the distance moves as well. It's not in focus, but you can see it's changing, which is what we want. There you go.